everybody, I'm Clara Hermit and this is Breaking the Mould with our Investment Research Director, Russ Mould. Of course, that question that you're all expecting, Russ, what's the fuss?
Okay, well, first of all, today is 4th of July, it's Friday, it's Independence Day, so we should definitely mark that, given that after all, the US equity market is at an all-time high right now. But on this side of the pond, the fuss is all about shopping, just for you. Marks and Spencer's, Dunelm and SuperGroup have all got numbers coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Ooh, choices, choices, choices. Should we start with M&S?
Of course you can, but before I go on to that, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Do you shop there?
Where?
M&S. You know, do you buy food, clothing, essential bits of clothing? I'm trying not to make myself sacked here, by the way.
Yeah, I don't get my pants there, Russ, but I do get some food there sometimes.
Okay, fine, we'll move swiftly on. But that sort of proves the point, though. You buy food, you don't buy clothes. One of the big issues that's facing Mark Bolland is he's desperate to engage with bright young things about town like Clara, isn't necessarily doing so, and at the same time maybe alienating some of the core buyers. Clara's mum, for example, whom I'm sure is absolutely charming. So he's got to get this balance right in clothing. It's not proving very easy. If you look at last year's numbers, food sales were up 1.7% like for like, clothing and general merchandising down 1.7%. So that's where the pressure's on. Now, in fairness to Mr. Bolland, the shares are actually up 42% since he took over in May 2010, against a market up 22%. But profits have gone from 703 million to 580, and that's where I got one or two shareholders wondering whether Bolland really has got what it takes. Going to be very important annual general meeting and first quarter trading statement, Thursday the 8th of July. Okay,
that's M&S done. Should we move and turn things all soft and fluffy with Dunelm?
We can, yes, absolutely. Trading statement for its fourth quarter, the same day as M&S's first, 8th of July. Another fascinating stock, down 20% in the last 12 months, even though it's a very well-run company. That's largely down to a dud first quarter statement last October, which announced an unexpected drop in like-for-like sales. Now, boss Nick Wharton blamed that on hot weather, people not going to his out-of-town shows. Okay, and in fairness, things have improved dramatically since then, so maybe he was right. But you don't really want to necessarily be paying 18, 20 times earnings for a stock that's quite weather-related, because let's face it, weather's kind of unpredictable. So let's see what comes out of the numbers on the 8th. Overall, the market's looking for profits up 10% this year. Again, investors need to decide whether that's enough to justify the fat rating or not.
And finally, SuperGroup.
Yeah, Cheltenham's finest, led and inspired by Julian Dunkerton's designs. It's had a wild year. Shares have gone from 7.50p to £17.50 to £8.50 to a tenner. And that's because of some volatility in the numbers, which mean that Dunkerton probably still needs to, address a few issues as far as the market's concerned.
So what are they?
Okay, well, the first one, and again, you're far better qualified to talk to us about this, is it still cool? Is the brand still cool? It's so popular. Does that almost mean by default it's not as cool and hip as it was? Also, can the company develop beyond its t-shirts and hoodies, for which it's so well known? International's definitely going well. And also, in the end, pricing. Now, the market occasionally questions the pricing policy of the company. It very rarely discounts, doesn't try to sort of manage stock to manage the quarterly numbers. I think that's great. It protects brand integrity, it preserves the ethos of the company, but it can mean very volatile quarter-to-quarter sales trends. That's why the shares have come down so much since mid-April's fourth quarter statement. And so really now we're looking for a full year set of numbers. Profits of around 60 million on sales of 430. Earnings per share up nearly 20%. Still fantastic in this environment. Question is that enough again to justify quite a fruity earnings multiple of about 17 times, even allowing for a double-digit forecast increase in profits next year?
Okay, thank you, Russ.
Pleasure.
This has been Breaking the Mould. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time with another edition. Until then, goodbye.